Let's get started. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us today. We're here to talk about 20 reasons to consider our PLC technician programs. We're going to talk about some of the main elements and attributes of our program to help explain them for you in a little more detail. And then we're going to have lots of opportunity to address your questions as we go. And at the end of the session, we'll have a Q&A session. So let's get started. My name is Scott Duncan. I am the Business Development Manager at GBC Tech Training. I am joined today by Geet Amin. Geet, say hello and introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Geet. I work as a senior technical consultant at the college.
Geet's one of the people you would talk to if you were calling in for support with an administrative, technical, or tutorial question. We're also joined today by Iris, who is monitoring our chat group, and Joyce, who's monitoring other things to let us know if we're having any issues from the attendee point of view. So you may hear from each and every one of us as we go through the presentation. So let's get started. Today's agenda, we've got 30 minutes roughly scheduled where we are going to try and cover our main points and then have about 10 minutes for Q&A. That's the official schedule. We'll also keep the Q&A open as long as we've got questions, so don't worry about getting cut off. We'll keep that going for as long as you need it. The chat, which is running in parallel, and you should be able to see it in your Collaborate interface, is being monitored by Iris, as I said, and she will be trying to address as many questions as she can as we go through the presentation. She may save a few for Geet and I at the end, but we will try and get to every question through the course of today's session. Post-webinar, just FYI, we'll follow up with notes and a link to the video and other details to allow you to document what we've talked about and to have those at your fingertips. So let's plunge in. So our first most important kind of attribute and reason that people really like our program is that it is a distance education-based, computer-based, self-paced learning model. In other words, it's you determine the pace of study. You work through the material at your leisure, and you can study anytime, anywhere. We don't have specific completion deadlines. We've created these programs to work for you, not for our schedule. So it's all about you. The average completion time, just so you know, is about 32 weeks. We like to encourage people to try and get to that sooner, and it's not great if you go a long time. Some people go much longer than that, but we really do try and encourage people to work through the program and complete it, but it's up to you to work at your pace. Number two, so who are we and why are we a good choice for your post-secondary technical training? Well, GBC is a fully accredited institution under the auspices of the Ontario Minister of Training and Colleges and Universities. We got about 12,000 full-time students and about 60,000 part-time certificate diploma students. We are the best provider of distance education in Canada. We actually articulate with a number of universities with our programs. We're going to talk a little bit more about that later. And we have 8 U.S. college partners who, if you're calling in today, tapping in today from the U.S., you might have encountered U.S. Partners which offer our programs, and we work closely with them to provide the programs through their colleges as well as ours. Moving forward, let's talk about entry requirements. Do I have the requirements, prerequisites to sign up for this program? Is a big question, a very common question students have. So the baseline requirement is that you have your high school diploma, and that if you don't have that, that you're a mature student equivalent, which means you've got life skills and and experience working that we deem as equivalent. You do not require previous PLC experience. It's helpful if you worked in the field, but it's not essential. Our typical profile of students is someone who's working in industry or manufacturing, is looking to upgrade their skills to either to confirm their knowledge and training, and or bootstrap themselves to get a promotion or a raise or more skills so they can move into other positions within their organizations or outside their organizations. Next point. Going back to school can kind of be intimidating, and it can sometimes get really complicated. We try and make this program and our registration into this program absolutely as flexible as possible. We have, as I've said, open enrollment. You can sign up today or next week or next month. You can register for the whole program, or you can register for our pay-as-you-learn option, which allows you to enter the program and register into modules as you go. You can do it as an individual and work with us on that basis. Or if your company is working with you to upgrade your skills and training, we're very, very experienced with tuition reimbursement models from all over North America, in fact, the world. We have students that have come to us with almost every possible option of tuition reimbursement you could imagine. So we're quite experienced with dealing with that and are quite sure we could work with your company as well. So we make it as simple and as straightforward as possible to allow people to register and work with the program really efficiently. The registration process that you go through to enter the program is very flexible, and I just wanted to point out how to do that. It's easy to do. You can go online, you can send an email, you can call us, or you can even, I think you can still even fax us, although I'm not sure about that one anymore. I think we might have taken that off the registration page because nobody's using it anymore. Anyways, it's really easy to register, and if you feel you need help, just call our number, 800 number, and an advisor will help you through that process. If you need your employer to get more information through the process, please have them call us. We're happy to talk to them directly and work through questions with them. So let's talk a little bit about costs, and one of the reasons why our program is so popular and so easy for people to work with is because we have that a very low cost pay-as-you-learn model. If you're interested in trying us out, if you're not sure if online learning is for you, if you haven't done a college program before, maybe this is the first time you're trying to do something at this level, you can register for the first module and get the learning resources package at a very easy entry price, and then moving forward, you can register for modules on an ongoing basis at $70 each as you need them. We do have an optional textbook, which again is optional. It's not required, but some people like that as an added resource and added support, so we make that available to you as well. So how does all that add up in terms of the costs, and how does that compare with other options that you might have? Well, our cost is around $1,700. If you were looking at going to a college program, a full-time program or an extended part-time program, you might end up spending up to $7,000 over the course of 2 or 3 years. Compared to a university BSc in some technical field, that could cost you up to $50,000 and take you 3 or 4 years to work your way through. I'm sure you're aware of this. You know these things. I'm not suggesting that our program is equivalent to those things, but if you are looking for a way to increase your knowledge, skills, and employability in this specific area, we offer a very cost-effective and attractive option. Let's talk about the package, the learning package for a minute, just to describe for you how it all gets to you and what you end up working with. Our program is now provided to you by download. That's happened over the COVID restrictions. We moved everything to a download. So now it's really simple. You register and you get an email with the link and you download the material. That download includes the curriculum, the simulation software, some manual material, the theory, application, examples, and simulations. All of that is built in to that computer-based training modules, and you'll be able to work through that immediately upon receiving that download. You can then additionally log into online resources, which include exams and further supplemental content and student forums to communicate with your colleagues, your fellow students, and tutors. Exams, big question. Lots of people are worried about what kind of exams am I going to see, and how do I deal with exams? Well, we've made it very convenient and easy to work with. We have an online exam system. There's an exam at the end of every module. The exam is a 90-minute timed exam. You have to get 60% to pass. You have to complete and pass all 19 modules of the program. To help you do that, we've got practice exams built into the modules to help you kind of experience what it's like to take an exam and the style of questions and the environment of the questions. And there's a really great demo of an exam. So for anyone who's nervous about doing online exams, trust me, it's very straightforward, and we've offered up lots of support. And of course, we've always got a technical and/or tutorial support person on the phone to talk to you, to support you through it if you really get stuck. One important element that many people are thinking about is can I use this to continue moving forward in my education? Well, we do have a very specific opportunity for people to take our certificates and move forward into a Bachelor of Organizational Studies with Newman University in Pennsylvania. You work through our PLC program, then you do our ET diploma online, and then you move directly into the 4th year of that Bachelor of Science program. So it's a very, very cost-effective and effective route for people who are looking for a Bachelor of Science degree. Okay, now we're going to move into some of the technical material, and I'm going to pass it over to Geet, who's going to walk you through that.
Thank you, Scott. There was a lot of good information about the PLC programs. Hello again, everyone. For anyone who joined in late to our webinar, I would introduce myself again. My name is Geet. I work as a senior technical consultant at the college, and I will walk you all through some of the technical side of the PLC programs that we offer. Starting with the hardware requirements, one of the reason our PLC programs are very popular and is because there is no need of a high-end, super fancy computer to run the PLC curriculum as well as the simulation software. One basic requirement, though, is that you will need a computer running Windows operating system. Our programs are strictly Windows-based, so they will not work on Mac OS, Linux, or Chrome operating system. But it would work on any Windows operating system such as Windows 7, 8, 8.1, or the latest Windows 10. A very simple computer with a 1 GB of RAM, 250 MB of free hard drive space is more than enough to run the PLC curriculum as well as the simulation software. As Scott mentioned earlier, our programs are now offered in a web-based format, which requires you to have active internet connection to access the course curriculum, and you'll also need internet connection to do your online exams, which are done at the end of every module. But other than that, very minimal hardware requirements, no high-end graphics card required or a supercomputer required to run the PLC technician program. Moving on to the next reason why people consider our PLC technician program is the high quality student support. we understand that student support is very important for a technical program such as PLC. If you're ever stuck on a math question, lab project, PLC programming example, or let's say if you're having trouble installing this software on your computer, you can always reach us at the support center. We are always here to help. There are various ways you can reach us. You can call us, email us, or use one of our online student forums. Our online student support forum is is a very good resource for our students to post tutorial questions and interact with other students in the same program. We have a extended support hours, Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. until 10 p.m. As well as on weekends, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Our program being an online program, we have considerable number of students who are working full-time during the day. So they study in the evening and on weekends. Thus our extended support hours are a huge benefit to them. As I mentioned earlier, there are many ways you can contact us. We are just a phone call away, or email us, or access the forum. Uh, the other thing about our online forum is there are a lot of resources available on the online forum. If you're having a math trouble, if you need to refresh your math skill, we have a lot of good resources available on the forum. There's supplemental information available where you can practice your programming examples. So student forum is very helpful resource to our students. Let's move on to the next reason Thank you, Scott. It's the broad coverage of the content in both our PLC and PLC2 technician programs. There are 19 modules covered in each PLC and PLC2 program. The content shown on the screen you're looking at right now is taken from the PLC2 technician program. There are about 7 modules similar between the two programs. So if you decide to take PLC1 and then register into PLC2, you'll get credits, or you can see you'll get exemptions for 7 modules on the PLC2, which means you will not have to pay for the full program. Now, each module on the program covers in-depth theory and practical examples. There are review questions, practice exams, troubleshooting programming examples available on each module, which will help you prepare for your online exam. You'll have to do an exam at the end of each module, and once you finish all 19 module exams, you'll receive a PLC technician certificate from the college. Moving on to the next reason to consider our PLC program, and this is one of the biggest reasons people consider our PLC program, is the industry standard simulation software. This is a short video. You will see different 3D worlds. We call it 3D worlds, but they are basically manufacturing environments which you'll be controlling using the ladder program on the simulation software. So we can agree that for a technical training program such as PLC, it is very important to have hands-on practical experience, and you will gain that experience using the industry standard simulation software that we offer with the program. The PLC1 program focus on Allen Bradley 500. So both our PLC programs focus on Allen Bradley PLCs, while PLC1 covers the older generation of PLC from Allen Bradley, SLC 500, and the simulation software used in PLC1 is based on RS Logix 500, while PLC2 is the advanced level program, which covers the newer generation of PLC from Allen Bradley, and the simulation software used for that one is based on RS Logix 5000, or you can say Studio 5000 these days. Both the PLC programs will teach you ladder logic programming very thoroughly. So after you graduate from the program, you will have a very good hands-on ladder logic experience. In PLC1, you'll learn the IO-based, file-based ladder logic programming, while RS Logix 5000 use the tech-based programming style. And there are more than 100 pre-made lab projects on the program, which will help you learn the programming, maintaining, and troubleshooting PLC using this simulation software. Moving on to the next one, we will see these are 11 different 3D worlds. As you can see, they're mostly like the manufacturing environments, which you will be controlling and troubleshooting, programming them using the ladder logic program on the simulation software. So this is what makes our program very unique, is that you learn using the real world examples. Rather than just going through the theory, you practice what you learn on a simulation software, which will help you gain that important experience. So when you go to work, it would not be a huge transition from what you learn in the program and what you have to do at work. Next, here we can see in the background, there's a ladder program which controls the car wash 3D world showing on the screen. Here you can control the time, different wash cycles, the door open close sequence, etc., using the ladder program in the background. It is very interactive in a way. Our simulation tool will teach you ladder logic programming using this real world examples. When you register for a PLC or PLC2 program, you will receive this simulation software with a lifetime license. So even after you graduate from the program, you can continue using this simulation tools to practice ladder logic programming. And we all can agree that programming is like a math. The more you practice, the better and faster you will be at troubleshooting. So and we hear a lot from our graduates that they continue using our simulation tools even after they graduate, and it helps them a lot in their career. That is all from my side. I will pass it back to Scott. Over to you, Scott.
Thank you very much, Geet. So I'm sure that generated a few questions which we can take through the chat, or that we'll talk about when we finish up our brief presentation. We're just going to bring that in for a landing now. So how does all of this roll up in terms of benefiting you in terms of your career prospects? Well, you'll get, if you complete the program, you'll get a PLC Technician Certificate of Completion. You get 76 CEUs, Continuing Education Unit credits from GBC. You'll have that PLC experience. You'll have both in running simulators and programming. Maybe most importantly, you'll have that new knowledge and new confidence to work in this area, which is so very valuable moving forward into your career. So where will it lead you? Will it get you a job? Well, we know from experience with our students that we can put you on the path to these positions. For example, PLC technician programmers and control automation technicians. These are their salary ranges from the website payscale.com that we put in a little earlier this year, so it might actually be even higher at this point. Our training will put you on the path towards these careers. We've told you a lot about our program. We've described a lot of the features and benefits, but we'd really rather you hear from our graduates about how well it worked for them. If you go to our website, plctechnician.com, go to the testimonials page, and you'll hear about students like Jordy and Scott who have had really good experiences and have had great outcomes from as a result of their training. Jordy, as an example, provides us with the information in his comments that he actually received a pay raise as a result of getting more responsibility as a result of the training. So we can point you at those things and as really validations of what we're saying, and we encourage you to go there and look at that. One of the last questions we want to address is, well, which program should I consider, PLC or PLC2? This is a question that is very common. Geet alluded a little bit in terms of his description of the two, the differences in technologies that are involved and the different emphasis of each of those programs. If you are interested in trying to drill down a little further on that, go to our riddle quiz, which will take you through these steps to help you get a little closer to determining which one might be right for you. But of course, if you really want to talk to somebody about it, because your situation is going to be unique, please give us a call and talk to one of our advisors, and they can advise your situation directly. So that's where we want to wrap up the presentation. And now we want to go to some questions. So I'm going to go back to Geet at this point, and you've been tracking on the questions with Iris's help. Geet, do we have some questions?
Thank you, Scott. Yes, one of the question I think Grinder asked during the chat about the support even after you complete the program. Just to answer that, there is a lifetime license for the software. So if anything happens to the software, if it doesn't work, yes, we are here to help even after you're graduate. If there is a support you require with regards to the simulation software not working on your computer, you will receive the support even after you're graduate.
Scott, can you talk about the private Facebook group that we have? We had a question about that.
Sure. About 18 months ago or so, we set up a private Facebook group for our students and graduates. The intent of the Facebook group is to create an opportunity for networking and community among our students with a real focus on career. So we create an opportunity within the group for students to interact, for graduates to comment on the questions of students, and to provide within that group job listings that we receive from different companies that have found out about us over the years, and from graduates and from interested parties. We post job postings in there on a regular basis, which then you pursue with those companies. It's very open-ended. It's very friendly. And it's a great opportunity to interact with your fellow students and graduates of the program to learn a little bit about what they've learned and how they're applying the skills and knowledge they got through the program.
Right, and I would like to mention one thing about the updates on the program. So we constantly make updates to the PLC programs. Throughout the years, we have made a lot of updates and additions to the program. We try to keep as up to date as possible with the technological advancements. Just to give you an example, we recently introduced a new 3D world in the PLC1 program. It's called a Valve 3D world, and now it supports our PLC simulation software for the PLC1 program. It now supports the PID instruction as well, so you will be able to learn PID instructions, the interrupts, and everything in the PLC1 programs.
Other questions in the mix there, Iris? I'm looking at the chat, but I don't want to cover anything that's already been talked about.
No questions. I think we just got one from Tim, though.
Okay. Is there more? Is this more to a career standpoint? Is that? That's a tough one to kind of tackle, briefly, Tim. I think that the path towards a career in technology requires a lot of training and a lot of application of your skills over time. It is a lot of people take the PLC program who are electricians, millwrights, electronics technicians, people working in manufacturing. That's our typical student, somebody who's already working, who's having new technology introduced into their plant, for example, and want to get ahead of that, and want to be the person who gets tapped on the shoulder to work on those systems. But as far as yes, that we have an awful lot of that. But in terms of getting a job explicitly based on just having the PLC technician certificate, I think that would be a bit of a stretch. I think you need to demonstrate some of those skills and some of that experience through your job history. If you've been working in manufacturing and you have experience in a plant, working on machines, working in maintenance in some way, it's a these are complicated systems with complicated technology, and a one certificate is not going to guarantee you a position because everybody's looking for experience to go along with that, but it will certainly get you on that path and closer to that.
Right. And if I could add more to that, there is no prerequisite for our programs, so you don't have to be an electrician or in one of those profession to register into PLC technician. Our program starts with a very basic level. We don't expect you to know or have any such background. It will teach you the relay logic and everything from a very basic level, and then it will, catch up. And when you graduate from the program, you'll have an understanding of a very thorough ladder logic programming and how to maintain or troubleshoot a PLC in a manufacturing environment.
Okay, I think our questions are winding down, so I think we're gonna wrap on that.
Sorry, Scott. Sorry, we just did get another question from Jaspreet. If you could take a look at that one.
I see that. Geet, you want to take that one?
Yes. It is very different. So electronics technician program that we offer is the introduction to electronics. So you will learn in the electronics, you learn about the fundamentals of electronics. It would be good if someone is coming from a high school or someone is coming from an entirely different profession. If you want to take the electronics, yes, that would be a good first program to do, and then you can move into PLCs. Now, there's one thing we need to understand is with the recent advancement in the technology, more and more manufacturing environment, more and more factories are moving into the automation, right? So, and automation is as simple as a term automation is. It's an umbrella where you will see electronics, you will see robotics, you'll see PLC. So there will be service technicians working from all over different professions under the automation umbrella. So if you take electronics, it would definitely build up a good fundamentals, and then you can go into PLC, which will teach you PLC programming. But to answer your question, Jaspreet, electronics and PLC are completely two different programs, and PLC program focuses solely on Allen Bradley PLCs.
Geet, can you look at Joe B's question about anything covering SCADA?
Yeah, we do cover SCADA and DCS in our programs. So you will be learning about, we have modules on DCS and SCADA. So you'll learn about those technology as well in our program. It is actually in the PLC2 program.
Okay, I think we've, Iris, just confirm we've caught up on all the questions.
Yes, we have.
Okay, great. So thank you very much for your detailed questions. We love talking about this stuff and are very happy to dig into the details with you to try and help inform you on and make an informed decision on proceeding with your training. I think we're going to wrap up at this point. We'll be following up with show notes, and in a couple of days you'll get a link to the video of this session. And if you have any subsequent questions, please follow up with us directly. We're happy to talk with you individually. I think there was one more question that came in on robotics. Geet, you want to take that?
Sure, yeah. So Gurinder, our PLC programs are focused on Allen Bradley. The robotics technician program that we offer is generic, and you will learn the robotics programming in that course, like the FANUC and KUKA Robotics. Now, again, we don't focus on any one specific brand for the robotics technician program. You will learn the programming which will help you understand all different brands of robots.
Thank you, Geet. Okay, we're going to wrap on that. We're about 35 minutes in, so I think we're probably done. Thank you very much for attending and sticking with us. We enjoyed our time together with you. And if you have any questions, please contact us directly at those coordinates, and we hope to talk to you soon. Bye for now.